In this tutorial, we will be looking at an easy-to-use scroll to top element included in the OctoMono app. As with all the elements included with the OctoMono app, we will start by dropping the OctoMono element on our page. For this specific element, you can actually drop it anywhere on your page you like, so you can drop it wherever it's not bothering with any other elements. In this case, scroll to top, I'm just going to add it here at the bottom, where it's not going to be bothering anything. So we access the dashboard by clicking on the dashboard button here. We will scroll down in our elements list and look for the scroll to top element. And you can see our settings here are on the left and our preview is on the right. You got under styles, you got your background color, which is pretty obvious, which is the background color of the general background, and then you got a filler color, which is the kind of a progress indicator when people are scrolling down. So the lower on the page, the more the filler will be filling up this element. So for example, let's put it in a black tone like that, and here we can add like a reddish kind of tone. You can include a border if you want. If you don't want a border, simply leave this value here in border width to 0, but you could include a border if you would like to. If you don't want a round button but rather a square button, you can simply play around with the border radius. Having 0 border radius will be completely 90 degrees angled. I'm going to leave it rounded, so I'm just going to put a high value here. You could include some box shadow or remove that. Then for the dimensions, you can also play around with the width of the box and the height of the box. So you could do crazy things like that. But I'm just going to leave all those default settings for now. There's an amount of arrows you can choose from that could fit your styles and so on. I'm going to use this one, for example. And you can also, of course, change the font size and the color of this specific icon. Now, as for functionality, you can align this to the center, to the left, or to the right. I think to the right is the most commonplace, so I'm going to leave it there as well. And then you can also specify the amount of pixels that the element should show up whenever a user is scrolling down. By default, it's being set at 150. You can change that to any value you want, of course. And you can also specify whenever a visitor rather, clicks on the element, how fast it will be taking up to the page top, to the top of the page, obviously. So either it be slow, normal, or fast. I'm just going to leave this to the default normal as well. And I'm going to save this. So now we got our placeholder, which is not for use right here in the Weebly editor, but you can always use this to access again if you want to modify some of the settings. So now let's look at the live page to see what this element looks like and feels like. So right now we're at the top of our page, but when scrolling down, you can see here at the right bottom, our element is appearing. The lower we scroll, the more the filling color will fill up this element, of course, which is a nice indicator as well for when you're to indicate how far down a user is on your page. So once you reach the bottom, you can see it's fully colored with that background color. So that's it for the element.